fish are out there, if it seems a little hot for you, put on some sunscreen and get outdoors. Maybe try some bass fishing, and here's how you can do it.
Well, it's bass is what it is.
Okay, you rolling? Okay, fish, there he goes. Okay, what you want to get me? It's right down on the water.
Yeah, it's bass.
A legal largemouth makes the minimum easily. It's caught near shore in the woods during the day. But it's not springtime. This bass isn't on a spawning bed. No siree, it's mid-July.
That's a nice fish, Bob. Look at the pretty color in him.
Yeah, look at that. Think that one measures, Wayne?
Oh, I think you will. Why don't you look at that measuring board right down there by your feet?
Yeah, we got to keep a board here.
It's fashionable to talk about the dog days of summer, but they affect the fishermen much more than the fish.
Easy.
Look at that, OJ.
Yeah.
He's an easy one. We're going after
13-incher.
13-incher, all right. Look at that. Okay. Not a great big one.
Yeah, why don't you put him in the live well there and I'll turn it on for you.
Okay.
Wayne Magdalena is a tournament bass fisherman. Now, he's using one of those plush bass boats with all the comforts, including 2 live wells for fish. And even though we aren't fishing a tournament, we're fishing for fun, and maybe we'll keep some for food today. The live well helps keep the fish fresh longer, which helps the taste. But where do bass like this come from in the middle of the day in July? Well, you're looking at it. Shallow water, close to shore, a weedy lake, and that's where the bass stay most of the day. The small and medium-sized bass anyway. Some research has shown that the big hogs, the trophy-sized bass, head for deep water as a general rule during the day and cruise the shallows at night. But there are plenty of legal-sized and medium-sized bass that will chase a spinnerbait in shallow water during the day. This is a spinnerbait I'm casting, sometimes called a safety pin type lure because it looks like an open safety pin the way it's constructed. The single hook rides up, making it weedless, and the flashing blade, well, that attracts the fish.
Get him out there a little bit.
Oh, there he is.
You see him?
There he is. Yeah. Nice.
Oh,
nice fish.
Nice fish. Oh.
You want a net?
Nope.
No, he's just going to measure. All right. Hey, we run into a school of them?
Possibly. He came right out of the lily pads.
Right out of the lily pads.
Even though lily pads are found in the shallows, some big bass hang under them during the day because it's shaded and the water stays much cooler under the pads. Now, what kind of blade should you choose for a spinnerbait? Wayne likes to be flexible. Most of the time he goes for a big willow leaf single blade. Other times, smaller blades work. But with a snap, he can change them.
This had a smaller blade on it. Wayne's going to put a big one. But what that essentially is a snap swivel on the end of the spinnerbait, so you can go ahead and change the baits.
There's the blade that was on it, compared with the blade that we're going to put on it.
We're going to put the silver collar, or the silver willow leaf.
Hammered silver.
Hammered silver. Just like this, Wayne?
Try to put your, switch it around. Put your, the pointed end of your snap towards the inside. It'll catch less weeds.
Oh, no kidding. Like that. I'll be
that way this part of this is on the outside. This part of your snap swivel.
Oh, it'll turn up.
And your little snap won't catch weeds on it.
Casting spinnerbaits is effective, but they also work well trolled along the weed beds. See how this one is turning in the water? It's slightly bent, a little crooked, which causes it to run erratically. It's not bad for casting, but for trolling you want to bend it out straight so it runs evenly. That way you can feel if there's a change in the direction or pattern. It lets you know if you've picked up a weed. A bass likes structure, objects in the water, trees, gravel bars, points, islands. These are the places you want to concentrate on, whether you're trolling or casting. That's really what the bass like most.
Oh, nice fish.
Bass.
Bass. Should have been trolling. How do you like that? I've been trolling a spinnerbait all day.
Well, let's see if we can get him in here. There's another one.
Unhooking that big bladed spinner, Wayne Magdalena once again begins showing the magic touch he has as an angler. Could it be the Dr. Juice he puts on his lures? Well, if it is, I should have just as good a luck if I put some on. However, it's a good bet that I'll have the same experience I usually have when I'm fishing next to Wayne. I use the stuff too, but Wayne catches most of the fish. Now, I can't say positively that the fish scent attractors make a whale of a difference. Wayne seems to think they may help him, but then again, Wayne can catch fish on almost anything. Here's a Zara Spook, a surface plug that takes some practice to use to make it dart back and forth on the surface. Not a real popular bass lure, but one that Wayne can use to charm the bass.
We shot before. This is not a beginner's lure.
No, it is not.
This will take you years to. Give us an example of this. Now he's just had fish swat at this thing half a dozen times today, bass, and they've missed it. But look at the motion.
The fish haven't been super aggressive today.
Midday, midsummer, a surface lure for bass in the shallows?
You wouldn't go fishing without one, would you?
Oop.
Whoa! Look at that! Look at that! That is the darndest thing I've seen, Wayne.
That's it,
There's another
the
keeper
Wayne
for you.
Magdalena magic. I swear he could use a fishing lure to pull a rabbit out of a hat. Now, he wasn't really expecting to catch a bass for the cameras like that. Most of the fish during the midday in the summer you'll find in the weeds, and you'll have to use a lure that can handle the weeds. Number one choice? A spinnerbait for Wayne. You control it, cast it, it'll bump the bottom, or you can even cast it past or right into lily pads, and you won't often get snagged. Now, this is where you'll find bass during the day, under the pads where it's shaded. It's cooler. The bass can lay there comfortably waiting for a frog or minnow to swim close by. Spinnerbaits are easy to use, heavy enough to cast, and the real joy is that they don't get hung up on the weeds very often. And like I said, weeds are where you'll find most of the fish. Weeds produce oxygen, which attracts fish. Weeds feed a lot of aquatic insects, crustaceans, and minnows, which bigger fish eat. And weeds provide cover. At this time of the year, fish the weeds. That's where you'll find the really big ones.
All right. Ooh, we got salad and
Yeah, I think I got a fish in amongst all those weeds there.
by golly, you had one on.
Yeah. Still there.
He found the weeds, didn't he? Oh, that's good fish. Good fish, Wayne. Oh, good largemouth. Here, you want to net?
In the thick of the weeds is where Wayne found this one, the biggest of the day, largemouth bass. They're not nearly as affected by these hot, muggy dog days of summer as fishermen have been led to believe. This is a nice bass. It'll measure it out at about 15.5 inches, weighs a couple of pounds. Real scrappers, that's what bass are known for, their fight. They're a pretty fish and not bad eating depending on the water they come from. They can tend to taste like the water and weeds they live in, but with the right recipes they can be tasty. And they're always fun to catch because of their feisty battles.
Oh, man, that's
Nice fish.
good 2.5 pounds.
Looks like he's got some little bit of discoloring there.
Yeah, look at that. OJ, can you get in tight on that?
Probably an old scar. One of those big old pike hit him when he was a youngster.
Battle scars from the past. Bass can scar your fishing ego too, but don't give up. You can catch 'em all summer in the great outdoors.